So you must be wondering how I got from this to this, and the answer is simple: Velcro rollers. So today I'm going to show you how I use Velcro rollers on my long hair for more volume. Okay, shall we begin? So step one is to heat protect the hair, and for this I'm using, as you can see, the Kerastase Spray Fluidissime. This is a thermo protecting spray that promises to restore the hair fibers smoothness, provide manageability, and most importantly, protection. Anti-frizz protection for up to 72 hours. And I like to use this because no, I'm not the type of girl that just washes her hair and just airs, dries it beautifully, and she looks like she just came out of the salon. For me, it's all about hard work. If this channel has taught you something about me, is that I blow dry my hair quite a bit. I just love the way it looks afterwards. Plus, there's plenty of hair care products that if you don't style them, they just don't thermoactivate. So basically, they're good for nothing. So this is my second Elthim 3900. As you can see, this is in a minty color. I love it. This is the light version. I bought it to have it here at the beach house, so that when I come, I don't have to carry the other one with me, and has that ionic ceramic technology that also helps fight frizz. Clearly I have two, so highly recommend. I'll link it down below in case anyone's interested, but basically it is as powerful as the other gold and black one that I use all the time, but it's way lighter. This brings me to step two, which is blast drying the hair. And we are basically going to be using the hair dryer until the hair is about 80% dry. So we want a little bit of humidity left. You may have noticed that your hairdresser probably does this at the salon. And the reason, as I've been told by mine, is that hair is at its weakest state when it is, dripping wet. So the idea behind blast drying the hair before you go in with the brush and start stretching and adding some, mechanical stress to it is to prevent breakage. In a nutshell, by the time we go in with the brush and start applying some tension, the hair will be stronger, hence being able to handle it better. But if you're like me, you may be blast drying your hair the wrong way. I thought it was all about just wiggling the thing all over my hair, and that's that. But if you have frizz like I do, the best thing to do is to make the air flow in the direction from top to bottom, first focusing on the roots, finally on the ends. At this point, it's also safer to detangle. Let's do that. And then make sure the parting is right. I like to use a middle part, but whatever works for you, girl, you do you always. Just using the tail of a comb will do. And another very important step you don't want to forget about is to section the hair. At least that is what I do. So sections don't need to be super professional, symmetrical, and perfect. But what you need to do and need to remember is the size of the Velcro roller that you are going to use next. Yep, you understood correctly. Each piece of hair needs to be approximately the same width as the Velcro roller you are going for. So I basically twist its section and pin it up like in a little bun, and that is going to allow me to work piece by piece. We are going to be blow drying each section. I'm going to show you that in just a second. So this is why it was important not to fully dry the hair while we were blast drying and leave a little bit of moisture in there. I know some people hate the word moisture. This is my second language, so forgive me, I'm out of synonyms. Is humidity better? So a little bit of humidity in there so that we go in with the brush and shape the hair. Now let's talk about what matters the most: the size of the Velcro roller. I'm gonna go for a bigger size because I'm not looking to curl the hair. I'm just looking for that bouncy movement as opposed to tight curls. And yeah, that's basically what we get the bigger the roller. And I feel this is also very suitable for longer hair, and this Velcro rollers will help me. I know you're asking yourselves is why Velcro rollers to begin with? And the answer is the Velcro, because they will grab onto your hair. The regular ones, they have a smoother surface and your hair will move around more. However, Spoiler alert, we're still gonna have to clip them. Not just with any clip. This is exactly the one you want to go for. These are smaller ones. You're gonna need about 2 or 3 per roller just to make sure, you know, they stay put and you can go about your day with your rollers on. Every girl's dream. The good news is these are absolutely inexpensive and you can get hundreds of them. Most importantly, these will leave no dents behind. Again, all of these things are going to be linked. Enough said about that. Now let's move on to step 6, which is blow drying each section of hair. I make a point not to overdo this because my hair is not soaking wet at this point. So once the piece is done, we are basically going to go in with the roller. Let me show you. It's pretty easy. Remember that the width of the roller needs to match the section of the hair you just blow dried. Tip alert. This is something you may want to experiment a little bit with because it really comes down to personal preference. The higher you lift the section of hair before you place the roller, the more volume. Again, there is no right or wrong answer here. If you ask me, I like to stay at this point, kind of in the middle. Not too high, not too low. That will give me enough root lift without being too much volume. I also feel that doing it this way, you know, the end result just suits my face shape better for some reason. Of course, then I clip it and there you have it. Now moving on to the second piece, let me show you a couple more things that I think do matter when it comes to the end result. So I'm going in with the blow dryer, as you can see, and a round brush. Not just any round brush. This is the Olivia Garden Nanothermic brush, and as you can see, I keep twisting it at the bottom so that the ends bend inward, because that's the way I like it. And it is no coincidence, my friends, that the size of the brush is more or less the same as the Velcro roller I am using. Pin, 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 on to the next one. Blow drying, important. I stay closer to the root longer, and then the ends, which tend to be drier, I stay a little bit less, make sure the nozzle doesn't touch them. And now, very, very important, probably the most important part. Use the Velcro as a brush. So you're basically brushing through first, and then you roll it all the way in. And of course, pin it up. Now, what about the back? The back must be very hard to do. Well, it is harder, I'm not gonna lie. So here's my tip. First, focus on drying the roots. And my little trick here is to move it to one side when I'm done with the roots and finish blow drying the mid-lengths and ends on the side, which is a lot easier. Place that roller in and on to the next. But first, do notice how I am lifting that piece of hair a lot higher than I did on other pieces of hair. I like this next piece because I feel that you guys will be able to see the whole thing more properly. It's really a frontal piece. So once again, I stay at the root. Just make sure the nozzle doesn't touch the actual hair so that you don't burn it. It's very likely that the ends and the mid-lengths are going to be much drier than the roots, so stay a little bit longer on the root and then make sure that you shape the ends inwards. And here you can see perfectly how I'm going to use the Velcro as a brush. You see that? I'm brushing through and then rolling it in. And here I was having a little bit of, second thoughts, kind of trying to decide how much I would lift the piece, how much volume I wanted in the end before brushing through with the Velcro and then rolling it in and placing the Velcro roller to finally pin it. So I guess we could summarize this whole thing as blow dry, shape the ends, then decide on the lift before you go in with the Velcro roller. Brush the Velcro through the hair and then roll it in, finally pin it. Very easy. Yeah, I would say the most important part is to make sure you brush through just before you roll the Velcro roller in. And yes, I'm very much aware that I've said this at least 3 times by now, but I just wanted to make sure. The most important part, the part that is going to be framing your beautiful face, is the front piece, right? So as you can see, I am blow drying this completely different in the direction away from my face as opposed to those ends which I try to curve inwards. And this is the secret for perfectly bouncy, sexy, outward curtain bangs. Ooh, what's wrong with my face? Looks like I'm in pain or something, but I'm not. Right now, the difficult thing for me, well, not difficult, but it's a little bit tricky, is pinning it up. Once I have placed the Velcro roller, I have yet another set of bangs that's shorter. I am growing them, and yeah, it just complicates things just a little bit, but it's doable. You see? All done. Now, let's talk a little bit about the crown and when will those new episodes come out. I'm sorry, I digress, but really, let's talk about the crown area. Did I even mention that my skull is a little bit sunken in there? Like, I would definitely love my bone structure to be different so that I wouldn't need to do that much work in this section. So here again, my tip is do the root of the crown at the back, and then as soon as you're able to switch to one side, finish the work there. I'm trying my best here to lift the piece of hair at the crown as high as I possibly can to maximize the volume that I'm gonna get in that area. But sometimes I think like I need longer arms or shorter hair. I don't know, it's kind of tricky, but there you have it, it's done. Well, almost, because I noticed that some pieces of hair, and this may happen to you too, it's absolutely normal, they were kind of out of the rollers, so I just decided to curl those pieces back in. I honestly don't think it makes a huge difference, but I had the time to do so. I wanted to do it better for this video, so I did it again in just a couple of areas. And now we're going to leave this in for 30 minutes. We want the hair to cool off. Repeat after me, the way hair cools off is the way hair stays. If you'd like to, this is the moment where you apply hairspray. And now 30 minutes have gone by. Oh, the magic of editing. And we're ready for the big reveal. Look at that, guys. Some people say removing these Velcro rollers is complicated. I don't think so. Think of how you placed them and then do it backwards. Unpin, brush through with love. And release. Ooh, and there you go. This is the final result. It's a very natural, bouncy, voluminous movement that we've given a hair. And I want to finish up with these Moroccanoil treatment. I use it in light just because it doesn't weigh my hair down as much. It's also not as yellow orangey toned as the regular Moroccanoil. I have a full video comparing both versions of the Moroccanoil. In case you are curious, I'm going to share it in the eye at the corner. And in case you're wondering, no, it's not supposed to be left alone in your garden. It's supposed to use it. I just use a couple of pumps and spread it through, especially to get rid of flyaways. It just allows me to stay frizz-free. Tap, 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 just don't overdo it. There you go. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I am obsessed with the results. I think Velcro rollers are amazing and an absolute must-have because they're inexpensive, but they make you look like you just went to a very expensive salon appointment, if you ask me. That's it for now, guys. I will catch up with you all again on my next one.